Akwaba, welcome back. If you are just now joining us, you are watching Mwalimu Dropping the Knowledge Season 3. We are continuing to explore and dig deeper into the theme of connections and adding the co-theme of action. The thread of connections and actions will be woven and will define and illuminate the episodes of Season 3. To provide a brief refresher for our faithful viewers and bring in our new viewers up to speed, the connections include all of humanity. It has been scientifically proven through anthropology and archaeology that humanity began on the continent of Africa. Consequently, this history belongs to all of humanity, no matter the hue of skin, color of eyes, texture of hair, or country of birth. All humans have African DNA running through our veins, whether we accept it or not. It is one of the reasons why the knowledge of this history is imperative in order to change the trajectory of relationships in the society and in the world. We are all African, so let me personally invite you to investigate and then incorporate the knowledge being shared in your consciousness. Our connections encompass all aspects of life, spiritually, historically, and culturally. In particular, African people are a deeply spiritual people that has facilitated our strength, resilience, and determination to survive. African people have always known God. In fact, we invented religion and embrace virtually all religions practiced today. But before the advent of religion as we know it, African people pondered the universe, ways of knowing the divine, and the fundamental questions of life. The questions of life are the foundations for what we know today as philosophy. Philosophy asks those questions. Who am I? Who is God? What is my purpose? These are a few of the questions that all people ask and answer from their own historical and cultural perspective. As the first people to live on the earth, again, proven through the sciences of anthropology and archaeology, African people asked, pondered, and answered those questions from their own perspectives. These are questions that are timeless and should be personally contemplated and answered by all of us. As with seasons 1 and 2, my intention is to drop some knowledge on an area we generally don't learn about. Of course, I also hope to motivate and inspire you with the level of ethical excellence and spiritual rootedness that our African ancestors lived by and aspired to. The foundation block was our relationship with and to the Supreme Being. This past summer, I had the awesome opportunity to again visit the classical civilization of Kemet, also known as ancient Egypt. The land of pyramids, sphinx, and great monuments was an awe-inspiring experience. Kemet rose in power and splendor based on a value system that was lived and aspired to by the entire country. Kemet means land of the blacks, or Black Land, and was an ancient African civilization located not in the mythical Middle East, but on the continent of Africa. The spiritual beliefs of Kemet represent the best of African philosophical deep thought, and the practice of Ma'at is a reflection of universal values, morality, and ethics. Simply stated, Ma'at means truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, order, and reciprocity. The extensive teachings of Ma'at can be found in a number of ancient books, including the Husia, The Sacred Wisdom of Ancient Egypt, the Book of Coming Forth by Day, and the Teachings of Ptah Hotep. Ma'at is the highest expression of Kemetic excellence in moral and ethical living. Ma'at was the core value for proper governance in the lives and times of the people of ancient Egypt. It remains the core value, foundational cornerstone for ethical, moral, and religious education today, even when we don't know it. The value principles found in Ma'at are a key part of many religious beliefs, including Christianity, Islam, and the Baha'i faith among them. As an educator, I have taught the basic values and concept of Ma'at as guideposts for living that lend to a good and productive life. The idea of practical application of Ma'at, truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, order, and reciprocity is consistent with the values most people learn and teach their children, whether it is the difference between right and wrong or as a component of religious education. Ma'at's chief concern was the quality of relationships between people governed by their knowledge of God. That is, the relationship between God and individuals, families, communities, and the state. It was all about being in right relationship with God and being governed accordingly. For our ancestors, spiritual and religious thought was a living, breathing way of life that encompassed all aspects of what it means to be human. African people possessed a deep respect for God, the universe, the connections between spirit and material worlds. That relationship is revealed in the character of African daily living beliefs and ritual practices found in numerous ethnic groups throughout the motherland. That profound relationship to the Supreme Being is the only way our ancestors survived the terror of the Middle Passage and the horrors of enslavement. Ma'at was not the only ethical value system our ancestors practiced and lived by. To reiterate, please note that African people on the continent and in the diaspora observe and practice virtually every religion that exists on earth today, from indigenous African religions to those of the rest of the world. Today, while we religiously practice Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Baha'i, and other faiths, we have nevertheless been steeped in the ideals of the West, most notably individualism, materialism, and consumerism. We have been indoctrinated to embrace values which do not serve us, keeping us impoverished, both financially and culturally. As we buy things to prove our sense of self-worth, we are often mirrored in unnecessary debt. And for what? But I digress. In our ancient traditions, communalism or community, not individualism, was one of the most important tenets of African life. Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, arguably the most recognized and respected spiritual leader of our time, identified the emphasis on community as Ubuntu. As a concept, Ubuntu is found in both Zulu and Xhosa ethnic groups and translates to, I am because we are. It is a profound concept with implications for restorative justice, global citizenry, climate change, and all the other ills of our world waiting to be addressed. As it translates to the local level, Tutu has said, and I quote, "We think of ourselves far too frequently as just individuals, separated from one another, whereas you are connected and what you do affects the whole world, end quote. When we break down this extraordinary statement, the idea of Black people living as individuals separated from one another has had devastating consequences. It has made us susceptible to misplaced competition, unwarranted jealousies, and other self-defeating behaviors that not only discourage unity amongst us, but keep us fighting for a small piece of pie of the opportunity instead of working together to bake our own pies, to include opportunity, wealth, and taking care of our own. The separation has also diminished group love. To ensure our disarray, psychologist and Pan-African thinker, scholar, race strategist, and author of Blueprint for Black Power, a moral, political, and economic imperative for the 21st century, Dr. Amos N. Wilson put it this way, and I quote, "To conquer a people, you must destroy the love they have for one another," end quote. If we are brutally honest, that destruction can already be witnessed in too many of our young people. Bishop Tutu's granddaughter, Mungi, has written the book, Everyday Ubuntu, Living Better Together, towards the goal of actualizing Ubuntu for our healing and well-being. We'll be right back.